All right, hey guys. Hope you're all doing well. I wanted to post a little video update here to make sure that everybody is up to speed with what is going on with anatomy. Um, so I'm just going to kind of take you through what you should be doing this week and a little bit of my expectations for your work. So you really want your hub here to be Google Classroom. I'm sure that's what's going on with all of your classes. Um, so for a class like anatomy, obviously, this is not ideal. We should be, hands-on doing things and discussing, but we're going to do the best we can with what we have to do. So this document here, which I'm sure many of you have already taken a look at. If you haven't, you should. Explains kind of what's going on. So I have 2 weeks here listed. So I don't intend to change this too much. So I have made a few adjustments. So this week you're doing a couple of things. So I hope that you have your textbook at home. If not, you can access the textbook online on Mastering A&P. I'll show you how to do that in a second. All right. So last week I gave you kind of a packet with the pictures in class. Now, if you weren't here, you don't have that, or you forgot it, all of those pictures are the same ones that are in the Mastering A&P, and they're the same ones that are in your textbook. All right. So even if you don't have that packet, it's not a huge deal because I have posted for you the list of muscles that you need to know. All right. So this was what was given out. So these are the muscles that you need to study for quiz number 2 on the arms and the legs. All right. So they're all kind of listed here. So like I said, I would encourage you, if you have that packet, to kind of go through and label them and study them on paper to give you a better kind of idea. All right. So I know this is kind of a lot, but remember, you kind of have access to a lot of your resources when you're doing this stuff. So, you're studying this. Yes, you're getting this, but at the same time, I understand that we're doing this online, so you're not going to be in class taking a formal quiz. All right, so that's why. And a lot of this we've kind of seen already, and you guys started to build these on your clay models. All right, so to kind of help reinforce that, there's a Mastering A&P assignment to complete this week that's kind of like a homework review on the arms and legs and the whole muscle. It's called the school closure assignment. All right. And then there's also a quiz on Mastering A&P. So this assignment, the Mastering A&P, whole muscles, arms and legs, this one is, you have as much time as you need to do that. Take your time. There's no time limit. The quiz is timed 30 minutes, all right? So I'm expecting, so you can do this Mastering A&P using anything you want. The quiz is only timed 30 minutes, so there's not a lot of time for you to look things up, all right? Now, you can have your textbook really in front of you and your notes in front of you. So I'm going to get rid of this because I'm not stupid, and I know that if I were in the class, I would be having things in front of me. So I want you to complete it individually, but if you need to reference something, it's not a huge deal, but the quiz is not going to be exactly the pictures from your book, okay? It's going to be anatomical model pictures along with some pictures from the book. All right. So if you know the muscle pictures, you should be good, essentially, to do them on the anatomical model, so muscle model. But to help you with that, you want to watch these 2 videos that I have posted here that are actually going to point out the muscles on an anatomical model. So I'm not going to watch this together, but you guys should go in and look at this. Okay. And you'll see that it's going through kind of what the muscles look like on a model, right? So you want to take the time, you want to watch this, and you want to understand what the muscles look like on the anatomical model. So this is kind of replacing doing lab, let's say. All right, it's watching this video. So if you watch this, muscles of the upper limb, muscles of the lower limb, if you study the muscles you need to know and review them in the PowerPoint, which I'll point out some of them in a second, all right, you should be good with the quiz. So the quiz will be, like I said, timed 30 minutes on Mastering A&P, and it'll be of the muscles on the list in the pictures and also on the anatomical model. So a couple of things to look at for that. And you don't have to take that until, at minimum, Sunday night at midnight. Now, again, I'm kind of flexible with that. I would suggest that when you're ready, you take it ahead of time. because you don't want to kind of push it to that, because that's the due date in mastering A&P is in there. So, make sure that that is all completed by then. So if you do run into problems, you can contact me ahead of time before the due date. All right. Trying to think of anything else I want to say about that. So essentially this week, the only things you have to do for anatomy, there's 2 assignments in mastering A&P: the arms and legs whole muscle body review and the quiz. All the rest is just studying the muscles. That's it. That's all you need to do, and watching those 2 videos. All right. So there's not a whole lot of work to turn in. There's literally just the 2 mastering A&P things on mastering A&P plus the studying. So kind of similar to what we would be, doing in class. If we were in class, we would be finishing our muscle models. We'd be taking this quiz in class, right? And we'd be wrapping all of this up in preparation for the cat dissection. All right. Okay. I keep wanting to say any questions, but I'm literally talking to myself. All right. So next week, then I'm going to post another video update. So the first, one of the things you're going to have to do next week, and there'll be other things too that I'm going to put up here. I really want to get us prepped for the cat. I'm going to post as well some a kind of a video lecture explaining the background of the cat and all those things that you'll have to watch, and take some notes on that as well. But I want you to watch all of these videos next week in preparation for the cat. And they're actually available now, so if you get done everything ahead of time, you're more than welcome to work ahead and start watching these. All right, and this will take you through all the muscles of the cat. And next week, essentially, like I said, we'll be prepping for that, and fingers crossed that we're back in school after next week. We'll dive right into the cat dissection as soon as we get back to school. If school remains closed, all right, so beyond 2 weeks, I'm going to reassess what we're going to be doing. All right. We'll probably either jump into the nervous system, or I'll add in some other some other curriculum parts that I want to add in, but we'll probably get into the nervous system if, in fact, school does close beyond those 2 weeks, but we'll cross that bridge when we have to. When we do eventually return to school, we will dissect the cat. Whatever it is we're doing, we will kind of get into that. As soon as we get back to school, you will dissect the cat. So that's kind of my goal at the minimum this year. I'm hoping we're in school enough to dissect the cat, because I think that's a really important thing for you all to do. So this is by no means replacing the cat dissection. I don't want anyone to think that. This is to get us prepared so that we can literally dive right into it. All right. And I think that's the best course of action to take. So that'll be next week. Like I said, there'll be more things added in next week as well. A video lecture for me to watch, going through the cat dissection procedures and things like that. That way we can roll right into it next week. All right. So if you look on Google Classroom, I'll be kind of posting things in a stream here. So again, here's that list of the muscles you need to know. And then here is the PowerPoint. All right. So you guys have these. You started to kind of take a look at some of these, right? So I'm going to be posting as well. So like I said, if you look on the anatomical models, it'll point these out to you. But just study these figures. They're pretty straightforward. Okay, if you look at them, labeling the muscles. There's more in these pictures than you need to know, so just kind of keep that in mind. Okay, and some of these we've seen already. Some of the hardest muscles, I think, for people to remember are these, the flexors and the extensors. So if you think about your arm, right? When you're flexing your arm this way, you're using, I don't know if you can see me. Oh, gosh. Here, you've got your flexors, okay? And then on the other side, if you face your arm this way, you've got your extensors that way, right? So those are all the extensors on that side. And the names kind of go with where they are. So flexor carpi ulnaris goes along the ulna, right? Pretty easy. Flexor carpi radialis along the radius. Okay. Brachioradialis goes down the brachial region, down the radius. Okay, so a lot of these names reflect where they are. All right, so just remembering kind of the locations are sometimes. Little extensor digitorum literally goes right to the digits. All right, there's some more in here. I'm not sure. You might need to know the supinator. What do you think that does? Soup. I have some soup. Remember that? Supinator. Right. So kind of all these muscle names are pretty easy to remember. The leg is a little bit tricky, so spend some time with the legs. So you got the quadricep muscles. All right, your quadricep muscles made up the rectus femoris, vastus lateralis, vastus medialis, and there's also the vastus intermedialis, which you don't need to know because it's deep muscle. Okay. You've got your gracilis here on the inside. You've got your sartorius, which is like a strap that goes down the front of the leg. Tensor fascia lata right here, which is really embedded in fascia. Can't tell from this picture, but that's where the name comes from. All right. The adductor longus, remember adduction is going inwards, right? So this muscle will adduct the legs. Okay. And this is showing you again some of these deeper muscles, a little closer. Okay, showing you the quadriceps muscles. Here on the back, we can see the gluteus medius, gluteus maximus, largest muscle here, the leg. The hamstring muscles, which are made up of the biceps femoris, which has a long head and a short head, the semitendinosus, and the semimembranosus. Now, in the cat, we'll be able to see these when we extend the cat's legs open. You'll see these pretty nicely. These muscles, right, but those make up your hamstring group. Biceps femoris, semitendinosus, semimembranosus. Now, you see biceps femoris. There's biceps femoris, which is in the femoral region, and then you've got your biceps brachii. Okay, brachii, which is in the brachial region. So that, your biceps brachii is named biceps because it's got two heads to it, two origins, right? Same thing with the biceps femoris. It has two origins. Second term really relates to where it is. So biceps doesn't, people always say, oh, this is my bicep, right? It's really your biceps brachii because you also have a biceps femoris, all right? I think there's anything else I want to kind of point out here in the anterior portion of the leg, right? These terms are also going to describe the location and what they do. So you've got your extensor digitorum longus, your tibialis anterior, right? Anterior to the tibia. Okay, so again, it looks like a long list, but when you really look at where these muscles are, it's not too difficult. All right, gastrocnemius is in the back. That's your calf. I'll show you a better picture of that. So there's your gastrocnemius here. Okay, and you get a better look here at some of these extensors. Extensor digitorum longus going all the way down to the digits. All right, so extending your foot. So think about it. If you're pulling your foot up, you're extending your foot, right? This muscle is doing that, right? You can see the soleus here as well. You don't need to know any of these in the foot, right? Another look at the back. We've got the gastrocnemius, the plantaris. You can guess what that does, right? The plants your foot, plantar region. And the tendon of the gastrocnemius, which connects to the Achilles tendon or the calcaneal tendon. All right, you get a better look here at the soleus, which is deep to the gastrocnemius. Gastrocnemius right here is removed, and you can see this is underneath of it. All right, so kind of a brief overview of the muscles that you need to know of the arms and the legs. Definitely go through and watch all of the videos that are in the Mastering A&P. So I purposely included all the A&P flicks. Please watch those. It'll get you a better idea of what these muscles do, where they're located, and more ways to remember them. Okay, same thing with these videos here. There's some good helpful tips in there for how to remember the muscles. So all in all, if you watch all of the videos, you watch this, you study, you do the Mastering A&P, you should be in good shape for that quiz, which you want to take. Got so many tabs open. Which you want to take before the end of the week. Okay. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at any point. I'll get back to you. On Google Classroom, if you put comments on things, sometimes I don't get them as quickly, so email is the best method. Okay. In terms of your clay models, I took a look at those. You're going to have just a grade in for that as a third major grade. Excuse me, for the third marking period. Kind of close it out, and then all grades from this remote learning will either be minors or dailies. So daily for the Mastering A&P, daily for the Edpuzzle videos, minor for your quiz on Mastering. Okay. If you have any questions, like I said, email me, and I hope everyone stays safe and stays healthy.